Hello and welcome to Science Radio. Today, we bring to you a special episode on the occasion of National Science Day. National Science Day is celebrated in India on the 28th of February each year to mark the discovery of the Raman effect by Indian physicist Sir Chandrasekhar Venkat Raman on the 28th of February 1928. For his discovery, Sir C.V. Raman was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1930. In 1954, he was awarded with the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. This year, on the 4th of February, the Bharat Ratna was conferred to Professor C.N.R. Rao. Professor C.N.R. Rao is only the second researcher in pure science to be awarded the Bharat Ratna after Sir C.V. Raman. Professor Rao has served as the head of the Scientific Advisory Council to the Prime Minister of India. He is currently the Linus Pauling Research Professor and Honorary President of the Jawaharlal Nehru Centre for Advanced Scientific Research, JNCASR, Bangalore. He has been a pioneer in the field of solid-state chemistry and material science and has honorary doctorates from 60 universities around the world. He has authored around 1,500 research papers and 45 scientific books. This is Science Radio on Vidyavani 107.4. On the 13th of December 2013, several institutions from Pune got together to felicitate Professor C.N.R. Rao at IISER Pune. The coordinator of biology at IISER Pune, Professor L.S. Shashidhara, was the master of ceremonies.
We are here to felicitate Professor Rao for this occasion. In fact, this is more of our way of saying thanks to Professor Rao for leading Indian scientific community for the last several decades. In fact, when we say we felicitate him, we are actually thanking him. All the scientific institution of Pune, with whom he has very long association, requested him that he would like to organize this small function. Initially, he was a bit reluctant, and then finally he prevailed on him because of our long association. And he is very fond of Pune scientific community. Thank you, Professor Rao, for agreeing for this occasion.
Also present at the felicitation were former Director General of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, Dr. Raghunath Mashelkar, Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology, Dr. Ramasamy, Pune University Vice Chancellor, Professor Gade, Acting Director of the Indian Institute of Science Education and Research at Trivandrum, Dr. George Thomas, Director of the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, Professor Goswami, Director of the National Centre for Cell Science, Dr. Shekhar Mande, former Director of the National Chemical Laboratory, Dr. Shivaram, and the current Director of the National Chemical Laboratory, Dr. Sourav Pal. They all spoke on the occasion, and here is a look at what they had to say about Professor C.N.R. Rao.
Friends, admirers, Shishyas of this great Mahaguru, a living legend, Professor Rao. First thing that I want to mention is that it is only appropriate that we have this function in IISER Pune, because this institution would not have come into being but for Professor Rao. Professor Rao himself put up to get these new institutions, 5 IISERs going. It's incredible. I think it also augurs very well that the entire Pune city is coming together, the scientific community. IISER, NCL, Pune University, all of us are coming together and showing our appreciation. This is not a felicitation, as you rightly said. This is to say thank you. Thank you for decades of advice, guidance, mentoring, building. Professor Rao is an institution in himself. He is a builder of institutions. He is a leader of science, but more importantly, he is a leader of leaders of science. When I got the news of Professor Rao receiving Bharat Ratna, and I remember I have still not got over it. It was impossible to get him, by the way, because I immediately wanted to communicate with him. It took me about 36 hours finally to get him on the phone. The only thing that I said was that I was wrong. I thought you will get Nobel Prize first and then you will get Bharat Ratna. I think it is the other way around. You have got Bharat Ratna first, now you will get the Nobel Prize.
I would say his contributions to science are mammoth, to Indian science are Himalayan, and of course his impact on the Indian science sector is enormous. He has championed vigorously for all of us and really relentlessly for the empowerment of every individual researcher. And I would certainly say he's a colossus in Indian science. And I would like to declare to myself and call him a priceless gift of nature to India. Therefore, this Bharat Ratna in his case seems much more than an award, much more than a recognition, much more than a social acknowledgement. It is truly a celebration of Indian science.
You are a source of inspiration for the younger generation, particularly the students, whether they are in the schools or they are in the colleges or they are in the universities. Looking at your career and looking at the recognition that the scientific community has got it now, I think they will never have any doubt in their mind for choosing science as a discipline. Your contribution in strengthening the universities and the academic program in the university is tremendous.
We are all extremely delighted on the decision of the Government of India to honor you, the highest civilian award of this country, Bharat Ratna. Thank you, Professor Rao, for the visionary idea of establishing IISERs and mentoring it over the last 8 years. You have made Indian science vibrant by establishing the 5 IISERs and done for Indian science what founding IITs did for the technology of this country.
It is the contagious excitement to science that you have inducted to young people like me. The untiring dedication to work. These two principles have guided us, many of the young scientists, to achieve whatever we could achieve in science. Doing science in India has never been very easy, but something like this when happens gives us a lot of enthusiasm to continue further. And I think for that we need you to continue to inspire young people.
He is a visionary. While his eyes are set to the distant, bright future of Indian science, his feet are firmly on the ground. He is a working scientist. In my morning I mentioned, even today when he talks about science, he talks about the work that has come out of his lab in the morning or just previous day evening. So he is today's scientist. Thank you, Professor Rao, for steering Indian science for the past several decades, and more specifically for your vision in creating IISERs.
All the colleagues in NCCS actually literally broke out in joy when they heard that you have been conferred the Bharat Ratna. When you gave a talk in Indian Conversation in Nagpur in the 70s, I was still a chemistry student. I was still a student in a school, and chemistry was being introduced as a subject, and that made a very deep impression on me personally when taking up science.
To have been influenced by a man like Professor Rao. He has been such a caring person. I have had many encounters, interactions in both leisure as well as in work. And I think he has touched the lives of so many of us. It's impossible to recount. Thank you, Professor Rao, from my own personal behalf as to what you have done, because if there is one chemist standing here, it's because of you.
The entire country is proud today because of the scientific achievements that Professor Rao has achieved. Of course, his publications and his science speak not just of his tireless efforts, but also great quality and the benchmark that he has set. And I think that is something very important to understand, that he has continuously challenged himself and set great benchmark. He has been, of course, known all over the world for his seminal contributions in solid-state chemistry and material science. But time and again, he has again addressed the very important issues of the subject. From his very early days of research, he has been, of course, prolific and set the highest standards of research in spectroscopy, solid-state, inorganic chemistry, as well as material science. But in addition, his interest in almost every subject of science makes him a complete thinker. In addition to the research, as I said, he has been a great teacher who has been able to induce passion of research to generations of scientists, generation of students. We wish that you continue not just to remain active, but surpass and scale greater achievements in future.
Professor C.N.R. Rao also addressed the gathering. Let us listen to what the Bharat Ratna awardee had to say.
I can't address anyone individually because there are so many wonderful friends. My very distinguished friends in Pune, my old colleagues as well, and young Ramanujan fellows and others in this audience. Thank you so much for this occasion. It's a bit embarrassing for me In fact, I feel very shy, to be honest. You may not believe it, to accept all this. I come from a very educated family, but not a rich family. And what is amazing is the main thing in my family was, I'm the only child of my parents. I have no brothers and sisters. Was that I was allowed to do whatever I wanted. But the greatest thing my parents did for me. Wonderful parents. I don't think you can have better parents. They have parents with more money, but you could not have parents which gave freedom to children the way my parents did. In fact, I remember the amount of pressure by many people that I should go to IIS and this, that, after when I got a rank, first class, whatever, BSc and MSc, but I said I will not do that. And my father even once didn't say you must do this or that. And that has been my story of my life. That the warmth of relationship of human beings is the one that sustains throughout life. And it is the friendship and the bondage that gives you a basis to live. It is just the affection of parents that gives you a motivation to live. It is the blessing of God that helps you to go further. These are all things which have no money in it. No value in money, no value in anything else, except this peculiar thing that is purely in human spirit that has helped me a lot. It's a wonderful life to be, having been honest and truthful. And these are the principles I still live with. And it has been sometimes difficult dealing with politicians, for example, administrators, bureaucrats. If somebody comes and it seems you said I'm not very good. Well, what do I tell him? Yeah, I think so. I don't think you are that good. What do I tell him? What do you tell him? No, you are very good. So these are the main principles. One is the extraordinary affection for my friends and my students particularly, and this absolute faith that this world is run by this warm relationship. And in this process, not lying every time and never putting down others. I would like to thank all of you. I'm very grateful for your kindness. And I must thank my wife again, my family, with all the support they have given. So I thank you very much for your kindness. I thank you again.
This is Science Radio on Vidyavani 107.4. This year, the SASTRA Foundation announced the SASTRA-CNR Rao Award for Excellence in Chemistry and Material Science. The award was instituted in the name of Professor C.N.R. Rao as a tribute to his relentless service to strengthen India's position in science and technology. The first SASTRA-CNR Rao Award will be jointly awarded to Dr. Suresh Das, Director of the CSIR's National Institute for Interdisciplinary Science and Technology at Trivandrum, and Dr. Sourav Pal, Director of the CSIR National Chemical Laboratory at Pune. The award carries a cash prize of Rs 5 lakh and a citation. The award will be presented on Sastra University campus in Thanjavur today on the occasion of National Science Day. We spoke to Dr. Suresh Das and Dr. Sourav Pal in NCL about the award. You are a joint recipient of the first SASTRA-CNR Rao Award for Excellence. What was your reaction when you first found out you were being awarded?
Well, first of all, I did not know that the SASTRA-CNR Rao Award has been instituted. So it was a big surprise to me. Then I tried to find out what is this award. And then I came to know that the SASTRA Foundation already has awards in other areas. It is not that this is the first time they are giving the award, but they have awards in physics, then biology, in other areas. So they have now introduced the area of chemistry and material science. So then certainly I was extremely pleased. And then I came to know that Dr. Suresh Das is also going to receive the award along with me.
Naturally, I was very excited when I heard about it. It's always encouraging when your work is recognized, and especially when that work, the name of that award is associated with somebody whom you respect. It's all the more exciting for me.
You will be presented the award on the Shastra campus in Thanjavur on February 28th this year, which is the National Science Day. Among the many awards that you have received, what special place does this award hold for you?
Well, I think each award is important, first of all. I think because each award brings a recognition, and I think you should give value to each award. Of course, there are certain awards which people perceive as more important than others. But to the individual, I think each award is important. And being the first recipient is always very special. So I must thank all my teachers, particularly Professor Rao, whose name this award is instituted, and all my teachers at IIT Kanpur and my PhD supervisor at Indian Association for Cultivation of Science, and all those from whom I have learned. Whatever in life you do is because of them. So I think at all points you must respect them. And this is particularly a great honor because this award is being instituted in the name of Professor C.N.R. Rao. To receive any award in his name is, I think, by itself a great honor. I think that is, according to me, the singular honor that this award is named after him.
Of course, the fact that this is being awarded to me on this National Science Day makes it all the more special because this is a day that recognizes the importance of basic research. And C.V. Raman's work itself exemplifies how basic research can actually lead in the long term to technologies. Today we have the Raman spectroscopy which is developed. You can use it for probing, even at the nano and picomolar levels of materials that you want to detect. So technology takes a long time to develop, and if you just follow technology alone, it's a kind of a linear development. But it is basic research that gives the quantum jumps in science. And so this fact that the award is being delivered on the National Science Day makes it all the more exciting that basic research and its importance in technology is being recognized.
What line of research led to this award?
I think the award is on chemistry and material science. So the two of them are getting, but I have been working mainly in area of chemistry, which is basically physical and theoretical chemistry. And we are working on electronic structure of atoms and molecules, the properties of atoms and molecules, the reactivity of atoms and molecules. So this actually let people know how simply by theoretical and computational modeling, computational considerations, we are able to predict today which molecules are more reactive than the others, the intermolecular interactions, and also the electronic structure, which gives a great insight to chemistry. I'm also doing a lot of work on material science of late. I'm very happy that some of this work are being now recognized. But I believe mainly my major work is in development of theories for electronic structure, properties, electron molecule resonance, using very highly accurate methods of quantum mechanics.
My research has two main areas of focus. My subject itself is photochemistry, and the other aspect that is involved is self-assembly. So I've been trying to combine these two aspects. In fact, when you try to design a photochemical reaction, one of the best sources for inspiration is nature itself. For example, in vision or in photosynthesis, you can see how self-assembly of molecules bring about these complex arrays of molecules actually play a role in controlling the efficiency and the selectivity of a photochemical process. So one can actually study these processes and understand them, and in a simple way use the process of self-assembly to improve the efficiency of your photochemical reaction and specificity. And using these clues, one can develop photoresponsive materials, which is what my line of research has been.
Professor C.N.R. Rao is only the second scientist after C.V. Raman to have been awarded the Bharat Ratna. What impact do you foresee for the scientific community?
Oh, I think it is absolutely great because I think this is not only that he is the second scientist after Professor C.V. Raman to get it, but I think it's very important to realize that in giving this award, I think the country has also given a very important signal that the basic research is important. And I think Professor Rao deserves all the credit because he has brought that respect for the basic research. It's very hard to get recognition by doing basic research in countries like us. Of course, basic research is very, very recognized, respected in many developed countries. So I think Professor C.N.R. Rao has brought that respect for all of us who are doing basic research. So I think this is a very significant event, and I'm absolutely delighted. It's a really great thing. All of us are happy, not just because he was my teacher, but I think the entire community, the country, have been very happy, and I think we're all celebrating this Bharat Ratna.
This will excite the scientific community enormously. The fact that, again, Professor C.N.R. Rao is one who has paid a deep emphasis on basic research and its importance in a nation building and nation development. I'm sure that the recognition of Professor Rao with the Bharat Ratna will enthuse a number of young people to take up this field of research and also highlight the importance of basic research, as I said, in nation development.
With this, we come to the end of the special episode on the occasion of National Science Day. Tune in next week for another episode of Science Radio. We would love to hear from you. Do write to us at radio.iiserpune@gmail.com. That is radio IISER Pune @gmail.com. This is your host, Saurajit Basu, signing off.